Hello and welcome back to the X-Files Revisited. We are on to episode 12 of season 4, Leonard Betts. Now, before we jump into this episode, a little bit of housekeeping. Brian and I are going to be taking a break for the next couple of weeks because, well, it's Christmas and New Year. We've got family and festivities to take part in, so we will see you, or you will hear us in 2 weeks, which either you prefer. So tell us a little bit about the legacy of Leonard Betts, Brian.
Well, so obviously this is kind of what you would call a mid-season cliffhanger type episode, something that's quite prevalent today. I don't know if they were back then, but it certainly fits the bill because it's the 12th episode of the series, so it's smack bang in the middle, and it ends on a bit of a revelation. And I think for fans, it was a big moment back then. This being in a time before internet knew what was happening. 10 episodes down the line, it's just like you only knew what you knew from week to week. Mm-hmm. So it was quite a big revelation that we get. But I think it just so happens that revelation comes in what is, I think, a pretty decent episode on its own terms. Like even without that revelation, it would be a pretty good episode. So I think this is pretty well regarded amongst the X-File crowd, but do you care to take a guess as to just how well regarded?
Yeah. See, I always find this a little bit difficult because I'm trying to guess where the X-Files hive mind goes on this. And Monsters of the Week episode never really do particularly well unless it's a standout episode. So I think this one's going to be in the top quarter. 47.
47. Okay. Well, your reasonings there seem pretty just because it's actually at 65.
Oh, right. Okay.
So as you have clearly just pointed out, the Monster of the Week episodes maybe don't quite get the love that they should from fans in the way that the mythology ones do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Though I feel this kind of touches on mythology, touches on being mythology to an extent. As we go through the next couple of episodes, you'll kind of see that you could leave this one out, and we'd still you wouldn't miss it if they were, if they did a mythology box set without this one. Yeah. But I do think it gives you the emotional punch of finding out certain things.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, then. Should we get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we open up on an ambulance that is kind of got its sirens blazing. It's traveling down the street at great speed. And inside there is a doctor paramedic guy who's working on this patient, and he seems to know that this patient has something in particular wrong with him, and he does something to save this guy's life. And the woman that he's partnered up with, who's driving, she's like, can't believe it. And because she's so distracted by it, she doesn't notice the oncoming traffic, and they get into an accident. And Leonard, the guy who was who saved the patient, he gets decapitated.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Although I do, thinking back now, the way she gets distracted because he knows other stuff, but then later on says that he's always doing stuff like this. Yeah. But it's an incredible scene because you've got that kind of oddity of him figuring out what's wrong, and it's so intricate as well. It's not just like a small thing. Does it, and then the head loss, brilliant. Just the cherry on top, or the cherry off the top.
Anyway. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I like that.
We go to the morgue, and so the woman that was driving the ambulance, she's kind of there watching Leonard's body get pushed into, which is a little bit a bit dark.
Just weird.
It's like, just saying her final goodbyes. Off she trots. And then we have like a guy, a night watchman, whatever. He's just listening to his headphones and hears a banging, and then goes to check it out.
It does the infamous hello.
And then he gets knocked out by somebody. Ooh, I wonder who this could be. And
by A-body.
By A-body. And we see this distorted image of the attacker kind of walking out, and we only see body. We don't see a head. So two guesses who just walks out of the morgue.
Fantastic. I had no idea what was happening. I don't remember this one. So this was a complete WTF moment. What's going on? Is this X-Files zombies? I just wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, X-Files doesn't have a great track record with zombies, because I think fresh bones when you say zombies. So I'm like, oh no, stay clear. But yeah. So we have the obligatory, Mulder and Scully arriving at the scene and throwing out suggestions. Mulder goes straight to the obvious. Headless man. Headless man. It's just like he's straight in there, no messing about. Whereas Scully suggests the more likely scenario of a body having been stolen.
Yeah.
And then we get a security photo.
Yeah. Yeah. Of just anybody leaving without a head.
It's clearly a headless man leaving, but there's static on the camera image that just happens to be
over the head.
Exactly where.
On multiple pictures as well.
How convenient.
Yep.
Oh man.
But I love the guys just like, yeah, it's an old system.
I mean, they do explain this later on. There is a reasonable explanation as to why
at this point.
Happened. Yeah. But at this point, you're just like, oh come on. Okay, so they check the surgical remains. They go down to where basically all the surgical remains get binned, because the head still hasn't been found. The body's missing. They need to know if there was a way they got it out of there. Is it still down in the dump? So they go down and check the surgical remains, which we're told are eventually used as road fill. So Scully gives this. She fills us in on just what goes on with the remnants of these bodies, and it's disgusting.
Yep.
It's like people are literally driving over dead meat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So when people are saying stuff like "over my dead body," it literally happens. Yeah.
On a daily basis.
Yeah. I love this sequence because Mulder looks uncomfortable. And there's a fantastic bit of acting where she's like, "You're going to have to help," and he's like, "Oh." Just this pause. You've got longer arms, Mulder, so I need you to reach in there.
Yeah, she's so justified in getting him to help out.
Yeah.
I just put it makes Mulder feel queasy, even more so when they actually find the head.
Yeah, but does she need him, or does she just do it out to make him do it?
I think she's like, this is usually the crap I have to deal with.
Yep.
So you're coming with me whether you like it or not. But so they Scully examines the head. There should be jokes. There should be jokes in
this
scene
but we're too adult for that, Brian.
We're too adult. We're too adult about giving head jokes.
Yeah.
So Mulder examines the house, Leonard Betts' house, and he finds a bath filled with iodine.
Is this is after the Scully examines the head Is it cut during?
It kind of they go from and to. So we
Right.
see Scully examining the head, kind of talking about it a little bit, and then Mulder examines the house, and Scully rings Mulder while he's at the house and says that any photos she takes of the head are degraded. So that now you start to kind of roll your eyes a bit less.
This is after the eyes and the mouth have opened in the head, is it?
Yes. So
that's a fantastic sequence.
It is. So it's essentially why she kind of rings him.
Spooky Mulder, time for something a little bit weird. But it's a fantastic sequence. Just the eyes opening, fucking opens is good, but it's the mouth that slowly opens, and then just closing back over.
Again. Yeah, but she rings him and says she's not examined the head yet because it blinked at me. Mulder suggests Betts' body as being I can't understand my own notes. Anyway, Mulder suggests that Betts' body is something. Scans head. my notes literally say Mulder suggests Betts' body, scans head, has been back to the apartment.
Sans head.
Sans head.
Sans.
So Mulder suggests Betts' body, sans head, has been back to the apartment. Obviously, Scully thinks that's too much of a stretch. But I like that. Yeah, I like the way that she tells him that it blinked.
And all this time we don't know exactly what's going on. We know there's a bathtub full of icky stuff, but like I wasn't sure what was coming out of that. But I knew something was in it. I think it's really obvious, but I had no idea what was going to come out of that, Brian. And it's awesome.
He rises from out of the ashes with a new head, looking rather blobby like, because it's
and do you know what the most disgusting thing about this is? It's all that red water that runs from his nose. I'm like,
it's just the idea of it is disgusting, because obviously iodine's that stuff that they put on you in hospitals when you've got an open wound and things, because obviously it stops infection and stuff. So he's growing a new body part, so it's open to all sorts, because it's not growing the skin yet. It's like growing from the inside out. So he's just submerging himself in iodine until he's fully grown it. So that's disgusting. Mulder goes to question Leonard's partner, and she asks why all the questions about Leonard. So it kind of gets her thinking that there's something a bit amiss going on here.
But it's quite a good sequence, because it shows like she's kind of on the ball about things. You know, she's not just answering the questions, and she's a smart character. She's like, "What? Why are you asking all these questions about a decapitated man?"
And it feeds into certain suspicions she already had about him anyway, because she clearly knows that there's something like sideways about this guy, because he's curing people of things and knowing about things that they've got that he shouldn't know without scanners and things like that. So okay, so Mulder and Scully have Betsy's head sliced up.
It's awesome.
Which is disgusting.
Because you see that sequence where they pull the head out of the goop, and it's just kind of dripping, and then they're like, "We're going to let it harden, and then we'll slice the head." And you're like, "Okay," and it just cuts to it, like the sliced head. And
like there's a line later when Mulder says, "We'll take a slice to go." But it's just like, but they do this. This is a thing they do. And it's just, it's gross. It's like it's like a body part. It's like that was once walking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a slice there that just looks like a diagram, but it's a slice of human body.
It's a slice of life.
It's a slice of life. Oh man, yeah. But it's disgusting, but it's riddled with cancer.
Yeah.
Like every cell of his body is just like one big cancerous tumor.
My favorite part here, when they're looking at it and they're like, it's just like it's more cancer than person, and Mulder's like, can you live like that? No.
What do you think, man?
Not normally.
So Michelle's out driving in her ambulance, and she thinks she hears Leonard's voice over the dispatch radio. So we go to Chuck Burke. Now, I'm pretty sure we've seen Chuck before. I'm pretty sure Chuck's been in a previous episode. I could be wrong.
Right.
I'm sure he's either been mentioned or he's been in it. I'm sure. I could be totally wrong.
He feels like the kind of character that would appear every now and again. You know, instantly you're just like, you feel familiar. He's that kind of jittery pseudoscience guy.
Yeah. I'm sure Mulder's at least mentioned him on the phone, as just like said Chuck or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, he specializes in aura photography. What I want to know is, where was he when we had the episode with that guy with the shifty eyes who imprints images on the photographs?
Yeah.
Surely this is the guy that should have gone to for that.
100%.
Maybe he was. Maybe that's where we saw him. I don't know. But, okay, so Mulder's theory about Betts is that his life force is chi. Danny calls. So we're getting all the regulars now. So Danny is someone who we constantly get references to Danny throughout the series. They always call Danny. Danny calls them. We never see Danny. We never get to see Danny, but Danny calls. He always gives them information. He says that Leonard has an alter ego called Albert Tanner, who has a mother. So obviously so this will be. One can assume that Albert Tanner is the proper birth name of Leonard Betts, because obviously that's the one who has a mother, whereas Leonard Betts doesn't have any family members on record, which suggests that that's the alter ego. Whereas
what was his name again? Albert
Tanner.
Yeah, it's an anagram of Leonard Betts. It's only because you've put it on the screen, Brian, that I see it.
Oh, right. Okay. Well done, Leonard. Okay. So, the mother, Elaine, they go to see Elaine, who says that her son, Albert, died 6 years ago.
Did he?
Did he though? Did he really? It's like,
she's like a sweet old mother type character, isn't she?
Yeah. This is actually one of the few times where finding out that she's kind of in on it, like knows about it, is quite surprising, because the way she plays it, she genuinely like I feel for this woman, because as far as she's concerned, as far as she's concerned, she's already experienced the death of her son. And now you've got these FBI agents showing up and saying, "Yeah, it could be alive, actually."
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah. So Michelle finds Leonard. She found out which ambulance the dispatch call was made out to. She tracks him down and is shocked to find her old partner standing there, working the same job that he was working before.
Yes.
And he kills her.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I can't seem to I can't tell the time scale of everything.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, to get a job and start in a new position like this would probably take a while because he's going to have to create a whole new identity.
Oh no, I think he's doing both at the same time.
Ah, right, okay. That'd maybe make more sense, yeah. It's just that they say he's the new guy, don't they?
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, maybe.
So I just like I just don't know the time scale of the episode, how long it's taking over.
Yeah.
It's not really a down point. It's just a query.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. And he literally stabs her in the back. Yeah.
With a needle, injector. Which is a shame. And I feel quite bad for this woman as well, because she strikes me as someone that he could have told.
Yes.
Like I feel like if he'd have come clean with her, she'd have been perfectly fine to keep his secret. Because it's not like he's going around killing people. From what we can see, like he's saving people. He's helping people, and he's just taking whatever cancerous waste is getting chucked away. He's taking that. Obviously, it'd be disgusting, and she'd probably be repulsed by him for quite a while. But I don't know. She just strikes me as someone who would understand, and she's seen him save lives, so she knows that. So it's. I think because of that, it makes this even more tragic, because there's someone there that he could have confided in, but doesn't, chooses not to. And I think that's what turns him from being someone who is misunderstood to someone who is a villain.
A misguided villain of sorts, almost.
Yeah.
Like, I never fully hate this character or hope he gets caught. In fact, I'm often hoping he gets away throughout this episode.
Yeah, I do feel like I feel like there's a bit of a Norman Bates thing going on here with the mother, like, because she tells a story later about how he didn't defend himself, and I feel like perhaps how he deals with things now is maybe a result of her kind of pushing him to look after himself a bit more and
other than this character, every other piece of violence or kill that he does is through necessity, and you could say hunger or need, like, but this is the one that's like a choice. He doesn't have to do this.
No.
And because it's a good character that we like as well.
Yeah, totally. So he kills her, but he gets spotted by a security guard who chases him down, locks him to a car door, and then runs off to check on Michelle.
I like this guard most of the time, because every other cop we see in this show is inept. This guy takes no chances. Just whacks him in the head.
Brings him down, smacks him over the head with his torch, cuffs him to the thing, and then off he trots. Little is he to know that Leonard or Albert is the kind of guy who's going to rip his own thumb off to escape. I love how the guy just comes back and finds a thumb on the floor. It's great. Love it.
Yep. I thought it was going to be a hand.
Like a whole hand kind of. Oh man, it's just how much would that hurt though, to tear the thumb off? You've got to break the bone and then you've got to tear the skin.
He doesn't seem to have pain.
I don't know that he doesn't have pain. I just think he knows he can survive it. So I think if you know that you can grow a new limb if one's chopped off, then I think maybe that would do something psychologically to your pain threshold, shall we say.
I still don't think I'm just cutting parts of me off, but then I mean, if you've grown a new head, a thumb's
down. Okay, so Mulder keeps pushing his theory about the headless guy. Scully is having a hard time arguing against it, except for saying it's bonkers. They trace there's a Dodge car, so obviously the make Dodge. I can't remember. He said Dodge Charger. Can't be a Dodge Charger because a Dodge Charger is a cool car. This is like some Dodge estate, car. Yeah, dodgy car. Just some lame ass car. So they say it's registered to Albert's mum. So the car that he went away in was registered to Albert's mum. So they know she's had contact with him. So they go back to see Elaine, who defends her son and says that God put him here for a reason, and God means for him to stay. So it's in this moment where she goes from being nice little old lady to Norma Bates.
Yes.
It's in this moment where you see like I don't feel she's telling the whole story there. I feel like her boy was attacked by this gang. He didn't defend himself. And when he got home, she gave him a stern talking to about how you should no longer take this abuse. And the rest of his life was spent conditioning him to look out for himself, keep his secret, don't let anyone hurt him, and protect it at all costs. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like perhaps with a different mother, maybe Michelle would still be alive.
Yeah, I can see that. But it's such a nice turn from the mother. Like you never expect this at the start. Although I do feel that the religion aspect of it is a little bit heavy-handed. You know, like almost making them a little bit by quoting scripture and stuff like that makes it a little bit like Carrie's mum. You know.
well, they don't quote scripture. They don't quote any scripture.
Well, she brings it up. Does she not?
What? No, they don't quote any scripture. She doesn't refer to any particular religion, from what I can see, from what I can tell.
I've probably just I've inferred something there. It was a crazy religious mother aspect that I've just put onto the episode.
I think whatever God she believes in, I think this is her way of justifying that her son belongs in the world. That like the rest of the world will see him as an abnormality, a freak of nature. But as far as she's concerned, he was born, he exists, therefore he must be here for a reason. God allowed him to live for a reason, and he intends for him to stay. So, it's I think it's a mother's justification. Obviously, if you see that there's something clearly wrong with your son, you need to find meaning in that. You need to, you still love your son. You still want them to survive.
Well, she's already excusing his actions. If he did do something, then he did it for a reason.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
it's good. It's a great secondary character. I like the mother a lot.
Yeah. Like it's not like she's an out and out villain.
No.
Because again, you can understand where it's come from. Yeah, she's a mother. She's protecting her son. She's doing what any good mother should do.
Yeah, it's just provides what he needs.
Yeah, and there's no telling how much of all of this is her and how much of it is him. It's just from the few short scenes we get with them, I do get this Norman Bates kind of vibe from him. But yeah, there you go. So Leonard or Albert follows a smoker out of a pub into a parking lot where he's suddenly like, I'm sorry, but you've got something I need.
Yeah. Oh, he's watching them in the bar, pretty much salivating.
Yeah.
When he's not looking at his dodgy thumb. But yeah, I like that. Like, you have something I need.
Yeah. I like that he apologizes.
Yeah.
Okay. But my question is, how many times has he done this? because we've seen that previously. Obviously, he was working in a place where he had access to thrown away body parts. Oh, just the thought of it makes me want to vomit, quite frankly. But so is this the first time he's killed for the sake of his hunger? And has killing Michelle in order to keep his secret now tipped him over the edge where, well, I've already killed, so I may as well kill to survive at this point.
Yeah. I'm wondering if the sort of regeneration that he's having is kind of pushing his metabolism, that he needs more and more and more, and it's just a kind of insatiable hunger. And now he's cut off from his supply. I think he's going the killing route.
Yeah.
I mean, he could probably justify it to himself as these people are going to die. He's just kind of helping them on the way.
Mercy killing. Yeah, mercy killing.
I mean, because the guy is literally like, because I was surprised it was the middle of the day, like when he comes out the bar. So the guy's, and he's been drinking and is about to jump in a car. He could be like,
he's clearly got cancer. Yeah, so he's just he's probably
justifying it.
Yeah. Okay, so Mulder finds a receipt for a storage locker amongst Albert's belongings. So they decide, well, let's go and check this storage locker out. So while they're en route, Leonard Albert is in the storage locker, growing himself a new body.
Yeah.
And it starts with a head kind of coming out of the stomach, working up through the chest, and then coming out through the mouth, and then going.
I had no idea what it was going to be. Like I didn't know. You just see this strange bulge kind of move, and although the effects aren't great, it's a wonderful twisted idea.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Love it. Because it's a scream within a scream, isn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so Mulder and Scully arrive and find Mr. John Gilnott. I can't remember who John Gilnott is, but they find him. Oh, that'll be the guy, isn't it? From the from the pub. Yeah. Okay. So Betts tries to escape. The car blows up from
how
one gunshot. They literally they fire one gunshot and the car just goes boom. It's whoa.
I was expecting 80s action where you get 10 different angles, all of the car blowing up.
Yeah.
Just it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And it flips over and then they do an A-team style crawling out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, there's just the most random car blowing up ever from one gunshot. So they do an autopsy of Gilnott, and Mulder reckons that Betts took from Gilnott something he needed. That is that he had cancer. Albert Tanner's body is exhumed. Scully thinks Mulder is whack, because obviously Mulder thinks that
there's two things I love about the exhumation. I love the fact that they've got the two bodies next to each other and they're both the exact same kind of burnt pose. And the fact that Mulder says, "Will the real Leonard Betts please stand up?" I don't know why it tickled me as much as it did. I just liked it. Terrific.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a Han Solo kind of frozen in carbonite thing. I want a Leonard Betts. Let's just to sit around the house.
Yeah. I had a friend at uni who had one of those Han Solo frozen cabinets. Actually went with him on the day he picked it up.
Oh man,
he bought it online.
He must have thought it was great until he got home a week later, and he's just like, "Why?
So why the hell do I put this thing?" Okay, so they exhume the body, and as you say, there's now 2 of them, so they know that he's growing bodies, which kind of means that it's a pretty strong chance that there's another one still out there. So they decide that given that Elaine was helping her son so much, it's best to stake out the house and see if he comes back. So they're staking out Elaine's when an EMT arrives, which obviously sets alarm bells off. So they get out, they try and see what's going on, and Elaine, Mummy, has an open wound because we've missed a scene, haven't we? Just
in the bath
while they're staking out the house, Elaine is bathing her son in iodine, and she basically tells him that you need to.
Mother will provide.
Mother will provide. There's something a little bit homish in this moment. You think about just a few episodes ago, Home, with the mother under the bed. I'm like, this season seems to have a thing with mothers really wanting to look after their sons. So when the EMT arrives, they rock up, find her on the floor with a wound. Something's been taken out, and obviously Leonard Albert has called the EMTs to try and save his mum. So they take her in the EMT. Scully rides along with her in the ambulance, and then when she gets to the hospital, she sees a bit of blood dripping down from the kind of.
I think it's iodine.
Iodine, yeah. So there's a bit of red stuff dripping down from the top, and obviously she's thinking, "Holy crap, is he literally on there?" So she pulls a gun. She's literally like, she goes up, starts going.
Well, she's on the phone to Mulder, and she's like, "Mulder, get over here."
Yeah, get your ass over there right now. She starts to climb up the ambulance, but he's obviously already gotten down the other side, and grabs hold of her, chucks her in, and it's like, "I'm sorry, you've got something I need." And then they fight. Yeah,
it's the implication that she may have cancer at that moment.
Yes. So it's a real big kind of what the hell moment. It's not like I'm sorry, but you know my secret, you have to die. It's I'm sorry, but you have something I need.
Yeah.
Ergo, you have cancer.
Now, if this was Mulder in the ambulance,
I was getting there. I was going to say, now thankfully, Scully is the one that is involved in the fight because she kicks Leonard Betts' ass. She basically, he gives as good as he gets. They have a good tangle. She gets a few kicks in.
Oh yeah.
And she manages to charge up the pads.
Yeah. It's a shocking finale. Yeah. But
oh man, yeah. It's a great scene anyway. Great fight scene.
It's fantastic. It really is. It's a different kind of action scene as well because it's in close quarters. It's not something we often see in a confined space like that, and it's well shot, and you can tell what's happening.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things for them to crash into as well, and just the use of the paddles is great. It's a really good fight sequence. Like you say, you can actually see what's going on. It's not one of them so close. It's like, who's it in who here? It's like you can. It's a great fight scene, and it's a great fight scene that comes right off the back of a huge revelation about Scully. So there's a lot of emotion tied up with it because it's like they don't give you time to breathe because you've just had this holy crap, what, Scully's got cancer? And then before you have time to digest that, they're beating the crap out of each other, and then Scully's like, and it's just such a cool way to take him out. So the whole sequence is it's a really great ending.
I love the paramedics that come out and they're like, "Oh my god!" just looking at the guy.
Like, what the hell, man?
Yep.
So So we get like Scully's kind of sat in the car when Mulder arrives, and he's kind of saying a few things to her, and she's just like, you can see she's visibly shaken. She just wants to go. She just like, that's it, I'm done. Can we just go, please? She looks quite shaken. And then we have one final scene right at the end of the episode, just as a way of clearing up any doubt. You know, they throw in the nugget that, does she have cancer? And they answer it with this scene where she wakes up and she finds blood from her nose on the bed. Fade to black, mid-season closer, and we're all left thinking, what the hell? Yeah. Scully's got cancer? You can't give Scully cancer. There's no way you can give Scully cancer. What? So
yeah, it's good. Yeah. And as good as that end sequence is, were you thinking Betts isn't dead? Like, I mean, he's literally lost a head in the opening scene and comes back.
Yeah,
so I'm just thinking, oh, he's not done for.
I think he would make a great villain in an X-Files movie. I think if they do another X-Files movie, which I hope to God one day they do, I think they need to go all Wrath of Khan on it. Either bring back Toombs or bring back Leonard Betts. But you need a villain that's been in the show before, that fans know, and we all know he's a great villain who can but anyway, that's for another time. I
mean, I personally would love it if just like once every season they're at a crime scene and just in the background is that him as the EMT, just kind of and just like sulking away.
Or do if they're going to do a film, do an X-Files villain team up where Toombs and Betts team up together. Maybe not. Okay, so give us a wrap up, your final thoughts, and your score out of 5.
Yeah, I love this episode. I mean, we've already spoken about I love the monster of the week, but when they tie it into the characters as well, and they give us a villain who has more than one layer. They're not just evil for the sake of being evil. They're, this is someone that's trying to do good. Sometimes we have to do something a little bit grey to get there. And the effects are fantastic. I love the ickiness of them. The white fat before the skin kind of grows around. It's just disgusting. The mother character, terrific. Michelle, the other EMT. You don't get these many great secondary characters in these episodes. It just doesn't
Chuck
happen.
as well.
Yeah,
Chuck.
It's
skin slashes and stuff.
Yeah,
it's photography.
Highly entertaining, although it may not be a typical 5 out of 5 episode. For me, 100% is. I can't fault it. There's nothing I didn't like about it. And although I may have little foibles, that some things that just didn't add up, I don't care. It was incredibly fun.
Yeah. Everything you just said, really. There aren't any major faults, but there are like quite a few like tiny ones, things that they're not clinchers. Like the thing you pointed out about him getting the job so quick, that does really mess with timings and pacing and like, well, what? Okay, so when's this? In my notes I wrote a 4.5 out of 5. I'm really torn on it. It could be a 5 for me, because I do enjoy it. It's one I've got to watch each time. It's got a great climax to it, and when you go out on a really good ending, it's just sod it. I'm going to give it a 5. It's a 5. Yeah,
good man.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little about Never Again, the next episode.
Right. Okay. So it's got Jodie Foster as the voice of a tattoo that compels. Right. So
I'm in.
Yeah. So Scully's kind of, she goes a little bit on walkabout because obviously she's just found out she's got cancer. She's in a bit of a transitionary state. She doesn't really know what to do from here. So she kind of goes off and has a bit of a fling with this guy. who is another Space Above and Beyond alumni. And this guy just happens to have a tattoo of a woman on him that is very jealous of other women being in his life.
Oh, this rings a bell.
Okay. Yeah. I don't recall seeing this one that many times. It's not one I gravitate towards, I don't think. Now, it is a Scully-centric episode, which obviously for you that tends to be quite a positive. But I think as far as Scully-centric episodes go, it's probably not one of my favourites. And that's not to say it's a bad episode, for sure. But I just, we'll see. It'll be interesting to revisit, I think.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to that. Now, just to remember or to remind the listeners and viewers, we won't be back until just into the first week or just after that in January. We take a little, I'd say, well-deserved holiday break, Ryan. Yeah, we deserve that.
I just want to spend Christmas and New Year with my family without having to think about stuff. So all the
stuff. Terrible
stuff.
As always, I hope you have happy holidays if you're celebrating it, and we will see you in the new year for more X-Files Revisited. Thanks for listening and watching. See you next time.